Hey, how you doing? This is Dave Pirner from Soul Asylum, and we're hanging out in the dressing room here in Atlanta. We're going on a little bit later, and I'm not exactly sure what room this is, but we call them green rooms now, which is a new thing because you never really knew what to call them before because dressing room sounds kind of, not very rock and roll, and band room doesn't sound quite right, and so now people use the expression green room that apparently they got from enough people going and playing on TV or something. But so here we are in the green room, and it's not green. They're really awesome, and they're only available online. And we've never done an only online release, but they're songs that we grew up listening to and music that we. It was really kind of a challenge between me and the drummer, who's Michael Bland, who has a mohawk, and I'm sort of going, let's give that mohawk a test run and play some Dead Kennedys songs or something. So it was really Michael sort of going, well, let's see how hard we can actually rock, and let's see that this old material that you were listening to when you were a kid, let's see what it sounds like if it's played right. So. The first one has a Suicide Commandos song on it, and it's called Attacking the Beat, and the guitar player in the Suicide Commandos showed me my first bar chords, Ramones songs. Then there's a song called Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division, and that it's just a great song, and I've always wanted to hear it a little bit differently, so I think we kind of got that. Like they did a remix of that song a couple years back, and it was not a good remix, so I was like, all right, now I really want to cover it, and that one seems to get a lot of response because it's just a beautiful song. It's a really good song. And then there's an MC5 song on there that is, I think a pivotal band that everybody needs to understand how they change things for the better, and that was all with just bad, nasty attitudes about everything. It was sort of the predecessor to what was once known as punk rock. I mean, for me, it's always the crew, and our crew is three people, and that would be Rocky, Kim, and the G-Man. That's the front of house guy who makes it sound good in front. That's Kim, who's in charge, who makes all the logistics and all the flights and she even drives, and so does Rocky. And Rocky is the on-stage guy. He's the guitar tech, and these are the things that I wanted all my life, these three people. And at one point, Soul Asylum probably had a crew of about 15 people, but they are the people that put the show on, and they are such a small and tight and efficient group. It's like three people have to put four people on stage, and there's a lot of experience actually that goes into what's happening here. And I mean, we couldn't have done it with three people 20 years ago. It took a lot more people to screw it up a lot more, and that just turns into a mess. That turns into more people, more problems, and all that sort of thing. But that would be the people that I am always dealing with that are behind the scenes. And we have a booking agent that nobody even knows. His name is Kevin Daly, but he's again somebody that I've worked my whole life to get with these people that know what they're doing, and I'm basically just sort of representing them. I mean, I could go on and on about who I feel like I'm representing when we play. Like every band that didn't come out of Minneapolis, every band that never really made it to the national stage or whatever. That's all sort of part of, I guess, the fiber of who I am. We have two more shows on the LPs tour, and we just got out of the studio and recorded another benefit song. This one was a song I wrote about a dead dog, a true story, and we will be going out on tour again with Fountains of Wayne and Evan Dando shortly after we get home. and I'm producing a record for a guy named Jamie Bernstein, who is a bartender at a club called the Maple Leaf, which is the uptown bar in New Orleans that you want to go to. And the funnest part about working on Jamie's record is that he has access to all these musicians, and I go, so how about that guy? Can you get that guy? And he kind of laughs and he goes, well, he owes me on his bar tab, so I'm pretty sure I can get him pretty cheap, that type of thing. So it's pretty hand to mouth, and the PR stuff it's really neither here nor there. It's just that people don't really understand how bashful somebody can be, and then I learned from Dolly Parton how to love your fans, and that was from reading. She has an autobiography that I also recommend, where she's reading it herself on tape. So I listened to that, and that just gave me a whole new sense of what your obligations as an entertainer are supposed to be. And typically the people in bands, they just don't like doing any of that shit, and it's not. You don't get paid for it, and you don't. I always want to be nice to people that you don't really like and all that sort of thing, and it just becomes more of a livable situation to make myself available, and just kind of not care one way or the other. I think is really the thing. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna make a big deal out of this. I'm like, get it done. What do you want? And it'd be nice if everybody had a really good joke for me, because that'd be cool, because they have a tendency to be the Chris Farley thing. I was at that show in 1972. Remember that? And I'm like, no, but I just say yeah, because it makes the conversation flow. It's like my mother. She's very hard of hearing, but she smiles and nods her head all the time, like that kind of. I'm not listening to you because I can't hear you and I don't understand a word you're saying, but it's nice. It's nice. Good for you. Good for you. And what else we got going on? It just to be playing music and being on the road and recording and stuff. It's my dream. So I'm still doing it, which is amazing to me. And that part of it is kind of like I never took it for granted to begin with. So I feel very lucky, mostly just to have this band, because they're just really hot. I mean, this band is something else, and that is not including me. So I've been through the ringer as many times as you can wring someone out, and I'm still really enjoying playing music for people, and I don't think I'll ever get tired of it. I think people will get tired of me doing it, but tough shit.